Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy BB27 here, and welcome to the top 10 most forgettable SML videos. So, we're finally doing another top 10 video. It's been a while. We've covered most of the main ones I wanted to do, like the best SML videos, worst SML videos, and we even did the weirdest SML videos. But for this one, we're going to be doing the SML episodes that I think were super forgettable and nobody really remembers them, or they were just kind of bad and like people just kind of want to ignore them. There's actually going to be a couple good videos though on this list, and I kind of want to explain that a little bit before we get into the list. So, like, what I mean by forgettable is basically these were videos that were just uploaded and like literally the community never talks about them anymore. They're not iconic, they weren't funny, or maybe in some cases they were okay videos, but like literally no one ever brings them up. So yeah, starting off the list, we have Jeffy has hiccups. This video is a pretty old Jeffy video now. It was kind of during the more earlier years of Jeffy. It's a really boring, stupid like video where, you know, Jeffy kind of gets a problem that's not really a problem, which is hiccups. And they call over Brooklyn guy, and they basically do a montage of them trying different ways of trying to fix it, just to lead up to really nothing. It's a lackluster video, and it's not one that I ever really see people bring up. And you're going to be hearing me say the word forgettable or nobody remembers a lot, so just keep that in mind. But this one, yeah, like, it's not terrible, it's just eh. You know, it's one of those videos that I could honestly live my whole life without ever seeing again. And especially considering it's an early Jeffy video, yeah, I can definitely live my life without seeing this one. So, moving on to number 9, which is Jeffy's biggest fear. So you're probably going to notice that there's quite a bit of Jeffy videos on this list. That's just because a lot of forgettable SML episodes tend to be Jeffy episodes, but my list also does have some videos that aren't really Jeffy videos at all. This one is kind of similar to the last one we just covered. It's another video where Jeffy has a problem where it's like he's freaking out about, he's yelling at Mario, yelling at everybody, but it's not a problem. You know, it's not something serious, it's just him being a crybaby, and just it's a non-problem basically. And then they call Brooklyn guy over, and it's essentially the same thing as the hiccups, where they try different veins and methods to try to get rid of his big fear of the number 7, and it doesn't really do anything. And he tries explaining to Mario, almost called him Marvin, he tries explaining to him, like, you know, why he's scared of it, and the whole joke is like, oh, 7, 8, 9, but it's just such a dumb joke, and it's such a stupid, pointless episode. And again, nobody really remembers this one. So yeah, moving on. So now we have Where's Jeffy? So this one is very old. This is actually one of the first ever Jeffy videos after his debut, and it was extremely old Jeffy jokes just sprinkled throughout the whole thing. And it's not one of the more iconic ones either, because surprisingly a lot of the older Jeffy videos, you know, usually where like people kind of remembered them. This is one of the ones from the earlier days where nobody remembers this. It's not like Jeffy's homework where like everyone's like, oh yeah, we know Jeffy's homework, even though that video wasn't very good, but still, it's, you know, it's remembered. This one was just something they completely did, and it was just a tons of filler, and they still didn't really know what they were doing with Jeffy at this time. So, you know, they made a video where Mario kind of has to babysit him since he was still very young and, you know, he was at his dumbest, and, you know, these days. So it's kind of that generic plot where it's like, oh, he loses Jeffy at a park and he starts freaking out, and he's hiding in a tree, and then he's hiding somewhere else, and then Mario feels really guilty, and, you know, he's freaking out about Rosalina finding out, and it's just a super, just, again, kind of pointless video, and I don't care for the plot at all. It's not terrible, no, but it is one that I barely even remember myself because I haven't ever really watched it since I was a kid. Even some of the older Jeffy videos that I don't care for, I can at least remember a lot of things about them. This one, however, though, no, not really. They just go to the park, he loses him, he freaks out, and again, they don't know really what they were doing with Jeffy at this time, so they were just coming up with any plots they could think of, rather than something a little more funnier, a little more iconic, more characters. With this one, it's just, oh, look at Mario trying to take care of the dumb kid. Like, it's just stupid. But yeah, it's a little bit different than the last 2 videos we covered, because of how old it is. But yeah, it's definitely forgettable. Moving on. So, for number 7, we have Bowser Jr. Sneaks Out. This is the first non-Jeffy video on the list, and this is actually the first ever Bowser Jr. Sneaks Out video. So, since this video, Logan's made a lot of other, like, sneaking out videos, like, oh, Junior and Jeffy sneak out, or, you know, Junior sneaks out to the movies, and those videos are definitely more remembered by the community, but this one is the first one, and I don't really ever see people talking about this one. And to me, it's also just not a very good video, and I kind of understand why it was forgotten. It's just a dumb video of Junior wanting to go, you know, play lightsaber tag, I think it is, with his friends, so he sneaks out, and then Bowser gets mad at him and all that. Well, he doesn't actually find out, I guess, until the very end, but the whole joke is that Bowser thinks that Junior's still sleeping because Junior placed like a balloon or something in the bed. And I never liked that ending either, because yes, I know Bowser's supposed to be the idiot dumb character and, like, you know, believe in that type of thing, so I get it's like a joke, but I mean, he's literally looking at Junior right in front of his face, and the balloon thing that Junior puts in his bed is completely fake and doesn't even talk to him. And then Bowser still tells the Brooklyn guy to go take him to jail. And these were in the days before Judge Poobie, so there wasn't like a court scene or anything to drag it on, which I guess is fine. But Junior just ends up getting arrested just because of how dumb Bowser is. Like, I've never liked this video, and I honestly forget about it a lot too. So yeah, not one of the better Junior videos from this year either. There's way better Junior videos that overshadowed it by a lot. But yeah, moving on. So now we have Big Ears, which I'm pretty sure nobody even knows this is a video. It was actually, I think, one of the last videos of 2016, and it has to be one of the most forgotten SML episodes I think I've ever seen. It's not like number 1 or anything, because there's definitely some more, there's ones later on this list that are way more forgettable. But this one, yeah, it honestly feels like a joke of a video, because in the first half, it's like they're trying to have a plot going on, but then it just quickly wraps up and turns into just a joke, and then turns into like a big Logan update for the whole like last 3 or 4 minutes, which I guess I kind of understand why he did that, because he had a lot to say about, you know, the channel and everything, but it's just so weird because it's such a low effort, lazy video. It's like the video wants to have a plot, but it's just such a forgettable one, and it's such a dumb one. Like, it's nothing serious, which I know in most SML episodes aren't really serious, but this one is, like, extremely goofy with, like, the big fake ears on Junior's head, and he's just, like, they don't really do anything with the plot, and it's just, like, nobody really even remembers what's happening half the time in this episode. But yeah, I literally I'm surprised I even found this video again because of how forgettable it is. Yeah, like, not terrible, just more of like a joke video, and I don't understand why Logan couldn't have just done the update video separately. Instead, he kind of just made this, like, lackluster video to end off a pretty good year. Like, 2016 wasn't a bad year for Logan. I mean, yeah, old Jeffy videos and stuff, but, you know, to end it off like this, it just feels so weak. And it's kind of a sad way to end off a pretty good year like that, with just basically this lazy joke video with like a 4-minute update attached to it. So yeah, it's forgotten for a good reason once again. Moving on. Alright, for number 5, we have Junior's Revenge. I'm pretty sure nobody remembers this video. I mean, again, I've said that a lot by this point, but man, especially this episode, I barely even remember it. I had to kind of like skim through it just before we started recording, but yeah, this video is extremely stupid, and I remember hating this one when it came out, even just a little bit, but it is a very forgettable video. Basically, Junior gets super mad at Cody over, I guess, a piggy bank, and then they have like a big fight, and he wants to burn his house down, and then he spends the entire video trying to, like, either burn Cody's house down or just, like, you know, get the cops on him, and there's this whole Brooklyn guy scene that drags on, and for some stupid reason, this video is like 15 minutes long, even though tons of it is just spent on the red couch doing absolutely nothing, so it kind of just blends in with all the other, like, red couch filler videos. But this one's just really annoying because Junior gets so mad at Cody, and we all know he's not going to burn his house down. Thanks, Logan, for the ad. Anyways, we all know he's not gonna burn the house down. It's such a ridiculous plot line. Such a stupid-ass video. Like, oh man, it's such a drag to sit through, too. And I can see why no one talks about this one or comes back to this one, because it is really, really dumb and annoying. It's kind of like some other videos like Cody's Stolen Penny, but that one is just like infamous status, while this one's just like, we forgot about it, you know what I mean? But it's bad. It's a really bad video. It's not as bad as like School Project or some other like Junior versus Cody videos, but just the whole thing of like Junior and Joseph being so mad at Cody and just coming up with all these threats towards him and getting Brooklyn Guy involved over literally nothing. It's a piggy bank. It's just such a ridiculous video. So yeah, I can live my life never watching this one again. Moving on. So now we have the perfect plan, which I know no newer SML fans know what this is. Like, I'm pretty sure none of you guys watching this video right now, if you've gotten to this point, you guys probably don't even know what the hell this is. This was a video back in like 2015 where it was a very experimental video for Logan. He wanted to basically do an episode with the plushies at the time before the whole, you know, cease and desist. Way before that, where it's basically Bowser is the villain and he's going after Mario. So the video was supposed to be taking place in kind of like the Mario universe, like from the video games, where like Bowser really wants to kill Mario and he gets his minions together, and there's even the Goomba character, which we never really see. And it's a very interesting experimental SML video, but sadly it's extremely forgotten and nobody really knows about it besides OG SML fans. I guess, like, Logan, I don't know what he was really doing with this. Like, I feel like he wanted to do more of this, but he just never got back to it, sadly. And I wish he did, because I feel like this could have been really cool to have, like, a video like this every once in a while where, you know, it's like, oh, the perfect plan part 2, where, like, it actually continues and Bowser tries to go and kill Mario, and there's more that happens with it. And, you know, there's no Junior in this. There's no, like, Jeffy. This is, like, way before Jeffy. So it's just, like, a really cool video, but it's just sad how forgettable it is to most people and just how nobody really knows about it. And it was just such a different time for Logan too when you go back and watch it, because he was willing to do videos like this where he would experiment and try new things that he would never do nowadays. Like, this video completely broke the norm and was really interesting for the time it came out, because it was during the Junior era. So usually constant Junior, but then he broke the norm for once and did this. And I wish he did more of it. Nowadays, though, you're probably never going to see something like this again on the channel. And, I mean, obviously, it's been so many years now since he's done this, and it's completely forgotten by everybody. Or, you know, most people just don't even know it existed, which is just sad. But this is actually one of the better videos on this list. It's not a bad video at all, and it's just sad, you know, how people reacted to it, or, you know, how kind of it never, like, continued. But, yeah, that's about it. Moving on. Alright, now we have Jeffy's jellyfish. Now, this video, we're coming down to the last couple videos on the list here. This one's really forgettable. Like, again, no one in the community talks about it, but the only thing I do remember about this video is it pissing me the hell off the first time I watched it. I actually only ever watched this video one time in full, and it's extremely annoying. But the plot of it is super forgettable, because I remember seeing the thumbnail and thinking it was, you know, that might have been a cool idea, but in reality, it's a dumb Jeffy video, which came out, like, I think it was 2022. It's one of the more modern ones since, like, the human puppet switch, but it's extremely annoying, where it just basically turns into, like, a giant Nintendo section. Like, Brooklyn Guy comes over, doesn't care about Mario being stunned, and, you know, just because of Jeffy being stupid, and then he tells, like, 10 stories in a row, and the Nintendo thing just takes up the entire video, so the actual plot of it is completely forgotten. Nobody even knows what the hell is going on anymore, because of just the amount of filler in it. And it's just it's so frustrating to watch, because you just want Mario to be okay. But of course, Brooklyn Guy doesn't give a shit, and he just keeps telling his stories and making references to other movies, and, you know, the Nintendo stuff kind of keeps going on and on and on. And, like, the Jeffy parts of it aren't very good either. And it's just such a bad video. But when it's not bad, it's just, you know, extremely forgettable. So it's one of those videos where you want to forget it because of how bad it is, which is just sad. So yeah, kind of a short one, but not much else to say about it. It's just really, it's kind of almost like misleading too, because you think it's going to focus on the jellyfish, but no, it's just Mario being in pain the whole video and Brooklyn Guy being a dumbass. So, you know, a waste of a video, really, and I'm glad nobody talks about it. So now we'll be moving on to the last couple videos, the most forgettable SML videos. So now for number 2, we have Bowser Jr.'s Nerf War. Now this is one of the only really good videos on this list, probably the best video on this list besides The Perfect Plan. This was really sad because it was such a cool video. Basically the entire thing is, you know, it's just Junior and his friends having a huge Nerf war. There's not much dialogue in it, and there's not much more plot to it, which I can kind of see why it's forgotten. But it was such a cool video because of all the editing and music, and, you know, it's really short. It kind of gets to the point very quickly. And the whole thing's just fun to watch because it's so intense, you know, they make it super intense battle with the Nerf guns. And I mean, yeah, it's not like the best video ever. It's not, you know, super memorable. Like, I kind of understand why it's, you know, such a forgettable video by so many people. But I wish Logan did more stuff like this because it was such a, you know, interesting video to see, and just how intense it got by the ending. It's one of the cooler, like, Junior shorts, too. There's a little bit of dialogue in it, but it's not much, and I actually prefer that. You know, it's a little bit experimental, and I love when Logan does that experimental stuff. But yeah, we've never really got another video like this since then, and it's just kind of sad. But now we'll be moving to the most forgettable SML episode ever. It's one that I just don't even remember exists sometimes, and it's so boring, and it's so bad. So that one is Root Beer. This is easily the most forgettable SML video ever. It's actually the most boring SML video too. If I was making a top 10 most boring SML episodes, this would definitely be number 1 as well. This video literally almost put me to sleep when it came out, and I only ever watched it once, and that was way back when it came out, 2017. And the thing about 2017, Logan, was a lot of those videos were, you know, iconic or infamous, right? And a lot of the 2017 episodes were remembered by a lot of people, whether that was super positive reasons, super negative, you know, like the worst episodes he's ever put out, or, you know, some of the best, right? Like The Bet was incredible. Everyone loves that one. I even reviewed that, or, you know, like stuff like Jeffy's Tantrum. But Root Beer is one that was very rare to see in that year, where literally nobody talks about this video. I don't talk about it, no one talks about it, and it almost put me to sleep the first time I watched it. It is a terrible SML video, but it's not terrible for most of the reasons why you guys might think. It's not like a bad Jeffy video, or it's not a super annoying, frustrating watch, you know, it's nothing like that. And I guess it's not super filler either, but it kind of is. The entire concept of it just is made to be boring. You know, my quick review of it is basically the boys think that they get drunk because they drank a bunch of root beer, and that's the whole video. They act drunk. But the thing is, it's not funny. Like, most of the time when characters in shows act drunk, or, you know, get drunk, it's usually done in a pretty good way. The way Logan goes about it is making them all sound super tired and just, like, kind of stumble around. And the jokes are just they're kind of like non-existent, honestly. There's nothing really funny about it, and it is such a sleepy video. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And it makes you not remember it because you just fall asleep watching it, and then it's like, what the fuck was that video? You know, and I always found Root Beer to be such a weird SML video just because of the lack of attention it has and just how boring it is. There's little to say about it because, like, again, the whole video is just them acting like they're, you know, drunk and being stupid, but there's no good jokes that come out of it, and it's terrible, but not like normal SML terrible. It's terrible in a very different way. And because of that, it makes it the most forgettable SML video to me and the most boring. But yeah, I guess I'll give this one a score, since, you know, most of these videos I haven't been giving scores, but this one, if I had to give it a score, I'd say it's probably like a 1 out of 10. It is trash. It's something I would never watch again. And at the end, I think Brooklyn Guy does like a little PSA thing where he's like, oh, they're not actually drunk or something. I think that happens. I wouldn't know because I don't remember what happens in this video, but from what I do remember, it was boring. Oh my god, I just hated it. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about my list. You guys can make your own list in the comments if you want. I think a lot of us can agree root beer was the most forgettable, though, or at least one of the most forgettable. And let me know what you want to see a top 10 on next. I really don't have any more planned after this one, so it could be a long time before I make another top 10 video. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see next. So peace out and stay lit.